Hello, Steve Mills here, and it's great to be back on my podcast sharing with you some more tried, tested and proven ways in which you can grow your business. Been a really hectic time recently. Lots happening in my life and in my business, and so apologies for the slight delay or lack of communication from me. So I'm back on the ball now, and we're going to be communicating with you through my podcast on a very regular basis going forward. So today I wanted to talk to you about what I believe is quite a controversial subject, and that is selling on social media. I hear lots of experts on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and all the other sites saying, how bad it is, how awful it is that people sell on social media. You know, when you see an advert or, people posting things and they're trying to sell on social media. And I just think, do you know what? You're supposed to be an expert on this, and, you're supposed to be there to help people to win business. Now, I know that it's important to build relationships. Don't get me wrong. I don't endorse you get a lot of car manufacturers right now, just posting things out there, buy my new car, and I'm not talking about that type of selling. What I'm talking about is when you're posting and you're providing information, you're sharing something of value, be it on a video or a podcast like this one. The idea being that at some point you should do a sales little pitch within it, which sort of reminds me, actually, if you want to know more about my training, then what I'd strongly recommend you do is to go to my website, which is stevemills.co, that's MILLS, stevemills.co/training. There you'll find my latest training and events that I'm running. So go and do that as soon as the podcast finishes. So did you get what I just did there? I got part way through my podcast, and then I did a little sales pitch on my website. Tried to get you to go to my website. Now note, what I didn't do is I didn't wait right to the end. Why didn't I do that, do you think? Well, it's that not everybody goes right to the end of my podcast, nor any podcast. And so I want to sprinkle little elements of sales right throughout my podcast, which, just by the way, I'm not sure whether you've ever downloaded this, but if you go to my website, stevemills.co, you'll find on many other pages there's an ebook there, a great report, and it's all about the 10 biggest lead generation mistakes that I find most small businesses make. So if you've not downloaded that, you might want to go to that too. Anyway, on with the podcast. Did you get what I did there? I just did it again. So I've sold you twice in this podcast. Isn't that terrible? Isn't it awful that I'm using a podcast to sell something? But I'm still adding value. That's what I want you to realize and understand. So again, just to confirm, I'm talking about sprinkling sales or sales content within a video or within the written word or within a blog post or within a podcast, right throughout your marketing. Because, why am I doing a podcast? Let's just play Rodney Real here. Why am I doing that? Why am I spending my time, my money, and my effort in order to do that? Well, to be honest, there's several reasons. One, I love to add value to my clients. I love to add value to small businesses. My mission, my aim in life is to try and help small businesses to become more effective. And I want to do that, and I use a podcast as an opportunity to do that. But I also hope, to be honest, it's going to, encourage people to take the first step, to listen to me on my podcast and think, wow, that guy appears to know what he's talking about. and then to sign up either to a program by going to my website, stevemills.co, and finding something that is of interest, or perhaps booking a free meeting with me, or perhaps downloading my podcast or connecting to me on LinkedIn. But basically taking another step towards hiring me to help them to make a serious growth in their business. Now, does that make sense? That's why I'm doing it. Ultimately, it's about making more money for me, even though it's also about, growing, helping people to grow their business too. It's about building my reputation. It's about building my brand. It's about getting my name out there. And it's about demonstrating that I know what I'm talking about and I can help people with their business. So, that's why I'm doing it. And I want to be really clear with you. That's why you should be doing it too. If you've not got a podcast, then why not? And if you're like 95%, actually, no, it's not true, 99.9% of the business people that I speak to right now, they've not got a podcast. And I think, why wouldn't you do that? I then talk to people about blogs, and people say, "Well, I've got a blog, but I've been on three blogs today. Sorry, I've been on 3 websites and looked at all the blogs today. One of them, their last blog was 2015. Another one was 2018, and the third one was 2017. Give me a break. Are you neglecting your business? Are you neglecting your marketing? Those 3 businesses, in my opinion, are not doing themselves justice. So, this is really, really important, guys, and I really want you to get it. You need to be doing this sort of stuff. If you're not doing blogs and you're not doing social media, you're not posting, or you're posting and you're scared of trying to sell something on social media because some so-called expert has told you it's not good to sell on LinkedIn. That's just, quite frankly, bullshit. It's just not true. I make over 100,000 a year on LinkedIn from selling stuff. I've done over 10 grand this month on LinkedIn by selling stuff. Now, why wouldn't I want to continue doing that? Why wouldn't I want to increase that? Have I got a bad reputation on LinkedIn? No, I've got a great reputation on LinkedIn. Does everybody like me on LinkedIn? No, some of them might not do. Some of them might think, oh, there's that Steve Mills again trying to sell stuff on LinkedIn. Isn't that terrible? But, they're probably not the people, they're people who are just going to whine and bitch and moan about me and or other people, and they'll never grow their business, and they'll never, really have anything because they're so worried about, the S word, and that's sales, that they'll never get anywhere. So, that's really my message for the podcast today. Don't be afraid to sell on social media. Should you sell on every post? Well, you don't have to on every post, but I think 90% of the time you want to be selling at some point during the post, okay? At some point, and not at the end of it, yeah? Not at the end of the blog, not at the end of the podcast, not at the end of the social media article, and so on and so forth, but right throughout it. So that's my message today. I really hope you take action. I really hope to start to see you sprinkling your information marketing, the ideas and strategies that you use, the information that you put out there, you sprinkle with sales. So that's all from me. Thank you ever so much for listening. If you stayed on till now, congratulations. You're one of the few that do against the many that talk. If you do want to know more from me, please go to my website, stevemills.co. And if you want to grow your business, then I strongly recommend that you sign up for what I call a strategy session. That's a one-to-one meeting with me, either in my office, on the phone, or on the web via zoom.com, We can have a conversation. I can ask you about your marketing. You can tell me what you're doing, what's worked, what's not worked, what you've tried, what you've failed at, why you think it's failed. And together we can come up with some ideas and ways in which we can grow your business working together. So if you want to do that, there's no obligation to buy anything from me in the future, but just take the first step working with me, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much for listening.